The rain fell in relentless sheets over Pine Hollow, a gated community where every house looked like it was auditioning for a postcard. My name is Derek Hayes, a cybersecurity analyst who traded a cramped city apartment for the sprawling ranch-style home I inherited from my aunt, a fierce woman who'd carved out her place here in the 1980s as one of the few black homeowners in this pristine enclave. I came for the quiet, a place to debug code and unravel digital threats, but what I found was a different kind of menace, one that started with a hacked smart thermostat, a vindictive neighbor, and a $75,000 fine that threatened to upend my life. This isn't just about a gadget gone rogue. It's about paranoia, power, and a fight that exposed the rot beneath Pine Hollow's polished facade. I'd been in Pine Hollow for 6 months, long enough to notice the subtle scrutiny behind the neighbors' smiles. They waved as I mowed my lawn, but their eyes lingered, assessing the young black guy in cargo shorts living alone in a house too big for one. The neighborhood was a study in uniformity: identical beige siding, manicured hedges, and an unspoken rule to blend in. My primary observer was Claudia Morrow, who lived across the street. Claudia was a wiry woman in her 50s, always in yoga gear, her smile as sharp as a blade. Her husband was a roomer, rarely seen, but their daughter, Paige, was a 20-year-old whirlwind of privilege, her blonde ponytail bouncing as she strutted the cul-de-sac like she owned it. Our interactions were a curt nod from Paige, a tight-lipped "good morning" from Claudia. But I felt their gaze, like I was a glitch in their perfect system. The trouble began with my smart thermostat, a sleek device I'd installed to control the house's climate remotely. It was a small luxury, letting me adjust the heat from my phone while I worked late cracking encryption for clients. But one winter evening, I came home to a house so cold my breath fogged. The thermostat read 85 degrees Fahrenheit, yet the heater was dead. I rebooted it, assuming a glitch, but the next night, it spiked to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, turning my home into a sauna. Then the settings started changing remotely: cool 1 hour, blazing the next. Someone was hacking my system. I'm no amateur. I traced the intrusions to a local IP address, but I needed proof to pin it down. My gut said Paige. She had the tech-savvy swagger of a college kid who'd bragged about jailbreaking her phone at a neighborhood barbecue. I'm a problem solver, so I fortified my defenses. I rewrote the thermostat's firmware, added a custom encryption layer, and set up a hidden log to capture unauthorized access attempts. It was overkill for a home device, but I was pissed and curious. The log would record timestamps, IP addresses, and any commands sent to the device. I didn't confront the Morrows. I wanted evidence, not drama. The trap was set by Monday, the thermostat's screen glowing like a silent sentinel. I thought I'd outsmarted the culprit. I was wrong. It was like waving a red flag at a bull. Tuesday night, I was deep in a client's firewall when a pounding at my door jolted me. Through the peephole, I saw Paige, her face flushed, fists clenched. I opened the door, and she stormed in, pointing at my thermostat. "What's with this thing?" she screamed. "It's screwing with our Wi-Fi." Her logic was nonsense. My device was isolated, not broadcasting interference. But her rage was real, and I noticed her phone in hand. An app opened that looked suspiciously like a network scanner. "Paige, are you in my house to yell about Wi-Fi?" I asked, keeping my voice even. She froze, caught off guard, then doubled down. "You're messing with the whole neighborhood. Mom says that thing's illegal." Before I could respond, she pulled out her phone and dialed 911, her voice shifting to a rehearsed panic. "I'm at my neighbor's, and he's got some dangerous tech setup. He's threatening me, and it's messing with our internet." The call was a performance, chilling in its precision. She paced my living room, claiming I'd locked her in and that my weird device was a safety hazard. I stood there, arms crossed, as she painted me as a tech-obsessed menace. "He's got wires everywhere," she added, "and Mom says it's a $75,000 fine for unapproved electronics." The number was absurd, plucked from thin air, but her confidence was unnerving. She ended the call with a triumphant smirk, saying, "They're coming for you." I realized then that this wasn't just Paige's tantrum. It was a calculated move, and Claudia was likely the mastermind. The Pine Hollow PD arrived, their cruiser's lights cutting through the ring. Officer Burke, a burly man with a permanent scowl, led the charge, his partner, Officer Lyle, trailing with a notepad. Paige repeated her story, tears welling for effect. I explained calmly. Paige had entered my home uninvited, accused my thermostat of impossible crimes, and called 911 with lies. I showed them the device sleek, self-contained, no wires. Lyle inspected it, his brow furrowed, but Burke wasn't interested. "You're saying this kid hacked your thermostat?" he snorted, glancing at Paige, the poor local girl. He issued me a warning. "Remove that device. It's causing trouble. Trespassing. False report." Those were civil matters. As they left, Burke muttered, "Fit in, Hayes, or you'll regret it." Paige shot me a venomous grin before flouncing out. My home felt violated, the quiet shattered. The next morning, Claudia appeared at my door, holding a tray of muffins, her smile a mask of false warmth. "Derek, I'm so sorry about Paige," she cooed. "She's dramatic, you know, young and impulsive." I didn't bite. "Your daughter trespassed and lied to the police," I said. Her eyes narrowed, the mask slipping. "The HOA doesn't take kindly to unapproved tech," she warned. "It's a safety issue." The threat was clear. She was the HOA's compliance chair, and she was coming for me. 2 days later, an embossed envelope from the Pine Hollow HOA arrived, citing my thermostat as an unauthorized modification visible from the Morrow's window, a violation of bylaws. It demanded removal within 5 days or face a $75,000 fine for endangering community safety. Claudia's signature was scrawled at the bottom. Fury burned through me. This was no petty dispute, it was a campaign to erase me. I dug into my aunt's old files, finding the HOA covenants, a labyrinth of vague terms like community standards and visual harmony. Buried in the minutes was a name, Amara Patel, a former resident who'd fought similar bylaws years ago, only to sell her home and leave. I suspected a pattern. I hired Nadia Wells, an attorney who'd made a name dismantling HOA tyrannies. In her cluttered office, she pored over my evidence. "That $75,000 fine is their mistake," she said, eyes gleaming. "It's vindictive, not legal. We'll bury them." I tracked down Amara Patel via her son, Vikram, a software developer. Over a call, Amara shared her story. Claudia had targeted her over a solar panel installation, citing aesthetic violations. Fines escalated. Her car was vandalized, and anonymous complaints dogged her until she left. "It wasn't about the panels," Amara said. "It was about us not fitting her vision." Her words echoed my reality. Then, my thermostat's logs delivered a bombshell. The hidden system recorded every hack attempt, timestamps, IPs, and commands. I found dozens of intrusions from an IP tied to the Morrow's router. Better yet, the device's microphone, meant for voice commands, had captured audio during Paige's outburst. "You're done," she'd yelled, followed by Claudia's voice through her phone. "Tell them he's dangerous, Paige. Say it's a hazard. Push the fine." It was a conspiracy laid bare. Nadia crafted a plan. We'd hit back at the HOA hearing, holding our evidence until Claudia overplayed her hand. I also met with journalist Rachel Kim, whose exposés on suburban corruption were legendary. Her article, set to drop during the hearing, would reveal Pine Hollow's history of targeting minorities. The harassment escalated. My mailbox was smashed, loud music blared from the Morrow's yard during my client calls, and a brick cracked my window one night. The police, led by Burke, shrugged it off. "Kids," he said. But I held firm. The thermostat's logs my ace in the hole. The hearing was a circus in the community center's bland hall. Claudia, in a navy blazer, delivered a tearful speech about neighborhood safety and Paige's fear of my dangerous device. The audience, swayed by her rumors, glared. I took the podium, my voice steady. I detailed the hacks, Paige's trespassing, and the false 911 call. Then I projected the log's IP addresses tracing to the Morrows, audio of Paige's rage, and Claudia's coaching. "Say he's dangerous." The room gasped. Rachel's article hit mid-hearing, exposing Claudia's pattern. "It's online," someone shouted. Claudia's face collapsed, her cries of fake evidence drowned by the crowd's outrage. The fallout was swift. Claudia and her committee resigned. The fine was voided, and the HOA hired an external firm to rewrite its rules. A federal probe into Fair Housing Act violations began, and Paige and Claudia faced charges for the false report. Their house sold at a loss. Their reign over Pine Hollow ended. The kicker? Claudia's shouted instructions through Paige's phone, picked up by my thermostat, made the recording legal. Her own venom was her downfall. I'm still here, the thermostat humming quietly, a reminder that truth, backed by tech, can topple even the most entrenched power. This was for my aunt, for Amara, for everyone pushed out by hate. The fight isn't over, but the battle was mine.